This shield feels like it belongs to someone else. And that person is Sam Wilson. Not John Walker, Sam Wilson. I need to put this back in my wall now. So we are now halfway through Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I'm going to talk about my thoughts on it, and I'm going to go into some heavy spoilers. So to start off, I feel like these first 3 episodes have been awesome so far. Finally gave both Sam and Bucky the character development that they really needed ever since Sam was introduced in the Winter Soldier, and Bucky was also introduced in the first Avenger. We finally get to see how Bucky deals with the fact that he used to be the Winter Soldier, and we see him in therapy at the start of the show, and kind of what he has to do to make amends with the people that people he's wronged in the past, and also people that have wronged him. I thought it was a really cool thing. I mean, he's talking to that guy because he killed his son. I thought it was really heartbreaking. I mean, he's just trying to spend time with this guy, just be his friend. I just thought it was awesome. It just kind of showed how much Bucky is trying to be a good guy as much as possible. I feel like this is something we've had to see for a while, because we got glimpses of him dealing with who he used to be in the Civil War movie, but because obviously that movie was like way more focused on Captain America versus Iron Man, it's good to finally see him try to deal with it and what it actually has to do to finally deal with it. I thought it was well done, and I think Sebastian Stan has actually given a really good performance in it as well. And also, I really like Sam Wilson in this show. I think this is the best he's ever been. I just think it's really good seeing him, how he's coping and like giving up the mantle of Captain America. And at first, like, that was a huge shock to us all. And then when we see his reasons behind it throughout the series, we kind of find out why he gave it up and his views on the matter. It's really good, and it kind of makes you sympathise with him. But then it's kind of like each episode as well, he's thinking more and more that I really have to do this, and I finally can't wait until we see him pick up the mantle of Captain America and become the new Captain America. And I actually kind of hope we get a trilogy with him as Captain America, because I think that'd be awesome. We also get a lot more backstory into his personal life. We find out about his sister, his nephew, his niece. I thought it was really good because we've not really seen that side to Falcon, and we've not really seen that side to a lot of the characters apart from Hawkeye. So I thought that was really good, and it just kind of made them feel a lot more human, because when we think of Falcon, we think of this guy, big wings, going out, taking out the bad guys, but you never really think about these kind of personal life, and I thought it was really good. It just made them feel a lot more human, and just kind of like made you realise these big Avengers who are out saving the world do have their own personal lives, and they do have like just personal things that they have to deal with, like when he's at the bank and stuff as well. Like, he has his own personal issues, and I just think it helps you relate to this guy who fought Thanos just that little bit better. And also seeing how Bucky is dealing with the fact that Sam gave up the mantle. At first you're just kind of like, he's just like annoyed because he gave up the mantle that his friend gave to this guy, but when you find out there's a lot more to it, and it's the line, actually, I think it was episode 2 he says it, when he goes, when Steve must have been wrong about you, and if he was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me. And I thought that was like really quite sad, actually, because it made you think Bucky's trying his absolute hardest to be the good guy, to try and be a good guy again, and when he thinks that Steve might be wrong about him, it might make him think that I'm stuck as a Winter Soldier, it's all I am, it's all I ever can be. And I really like that, because it just kind of gave you a lot more insight to what's going on in Bucky's head, and I personally really loved that. And so once Falcon gives up being the mantle of Captain America, who gets it next? And that's John Walker. I need to give like massive props to Wyatt Russell, because he has made me hate him so much. Like, it just comes across like he's trying to be so nice, but he's like fake nice. Like, you're just kind of like, you're just acting like that just for the cameras. You're just trying to get their approval, but deep down you're an asshole. And I really like that. And while we do get a bit of backstory for him as well, it makes you think, like, while I'm saying, yeah, we think he's an asshole, but that's just like pre-knowledge from the comics. But you don't actually know, are they going to go that route in the show, or it's the way he just kind of turns around and he's like staring my way, and it's like, okay, maybe he's like, he's annoyed at them, and rightfully so, because they did kind of give him the cold shoulder. But I kind of don't know what route they're going to go. Are they going to make him the asshole, or are they actually going to make him a good guy who maybe actually helps out Bucky and Sam in the end? Who knows? But all I know is right now I do not like the character, and Wyatt Russell is doing amazing in a role just to make me hate him. Just makes you think as well, like, Marvel, the writers have done a good job of making you hate him as well, because when we first see him, the end of the first episode, the reaction to that online, like, nobody liked him, and that just shows how good the writers were, and just how good an actor like Wyatt Russell was. Just kind of, we see him, like, glimpses of him, he comes across cocky, arrogant, and just kind of no one likes him. And that was like from like 5 minutes of screen time, and I just thought that was really well done. What I really love as well in this show, and this is mostly in episode 3 because that's when we see him, and it's Baron Zemo. Personally, one of my favourite villains in the MCU. When we see him in Civil War, like, he managed to turn the Avengers against each other. So yeah, any guy that can do that is dangerous. But when we see him in this episode, like, even though he's helping like Sam and Bucky, I feel like there's ulterior motives, because he always seems to be in control of the scenario, and it always just kind of seems like he's calculating, he knows how it's going to go down, And just the way he's always just so calm, and these two just want to, like, they just want to batter him. But the way he's just like so calm and collected every single time, it just makes me think like he's definitely got ulterior motives, because there's no way like he's not, because he's obviously annoyed at both Bucky and Sam because he's been locked up for years, and he's definitely wanting revenge against the Avengers. So I kind of want to see where that goes, but I really liked him in the episode, and him doing the dance in the club was so awkward to look at, but it was so funny as well. And also, it's been the scene where he puts on his comic accurate mask and just takes out those guys was just badass in my opinion. I thought it was great, and I was just like, this guy means business. But like I said, I really think he's got ulterior motives, and I kind of hope he turns out to be the big bad, even though it's kind of hinting towards Power Broker. And talking about Zemo taking out those guys, it's got me to another point. The action scenes in this show are amazing. Personally, I'm surprised how good they are for, like, I know it's Marvel, but it's a TV show, and sometimes like TV show action isn't the greatest, but in this it's generally on the same level as the movies. It's actually on the same level as Winter Soldier movie, which has some of my favourite action sequences in the MCU. Like, especially in that first episode, you just see Falcon flying through the canyons. It was just so well done, and I don't know how much CGI they're using, I don't know how practical it is, but it just looks really good. And then you're seeing Falcon and Bucky fighting in the like sequences, it's just really good, because obviously you're seeing Bucky utilise his metal arm, you're seeing Falcon utilise his wings flying about shooting people. It's just awesome, and then you see like the two kind of unique skill sets like interacting with each other. It was awesome. And then when they're fighting the Flag Smashers, one scene I noticed actually is when like Bucky catches Cap's shield and he throws it back, and he's kind of looking in his face when he realised it wasn't the true Captain America he was throwing it back to, it was John Walker. And I really liked that. But yeah, that was off track. But yeah, the choreography is awesome, and I'm really liking where they're going with it. And speaking of the action sequences, when we have Sharon Carter, Agent 13, just taking out these guys at I think it's like the docks with the big, like, it's got the big containers. But yeah, she's taking out those guys there, and you can just kind of see how angry she is, because obviously we know she's been on the run since Civil War, because she stole Cap's shield and Falcon's wings, and like she said, there's no way she's able to go back to the US. And I like that, because it was kind of like, it was never really mentioned after the fact that she stole the wings and the shield, and it kind of shows there's been ramifications from Civil War, and like we know in the Marvel Universe, that was years ago from this point. So I really like that, and it kind of shows like Civil War has a lot of ramifications. When it comes to main gripes of the show, like we're like already halfway through, and I feel like we don't really know who the big bad is and kind of what the motivations are, because we know a bit about the Flag Smashers, and we don't know if John Walker is going to be a main bad guy in it. But it's quite like, we don't really know kind of a lot about them, and if Power Broker is going to be the big bad, like we actually don't really have a clue yet, and we have like a wee bit of the motivations of the Flag Smashers, but not too much. And I hope they address this in like the next episode, because like I said, we're halfway through, and I just kind of hope we get, I just kind of don't want them to fall flat with his villains, because so far I'm loving all the characters, and I hope we get a really good villain as well. So overall, the first 3 episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier, in my opinion, have been great. They've been top-notch Marvel quality, which I really like. The quality hasn't dipped since the movie, which I'm really happy with as well. And I just feel like as well, like I said, Bucky and Sam have got a lot of character development that we needed, and Baron Zemo as well. It's good to see him back, because he's one of my favourite villains in the MCU, and it's just great to see him, because I feel like if they killed him in Civil War, it would have been completely wasted, and I'm glad to see that he hasn't been wasted and he has been brought back. So yeah, let me know what you think of this TV show so far, guys. Let me know in the comments below, and also be sure to smash that subscribe button for more nerdy content. I do a lot of reviews, comic book reviews, comic book movie reviews, a lot of Star Wars stuff as well. So if you're into that stuff, be sure to smash that subscribe button, like the like button, and also comment your thoughts on the show and what you expect to see coming up in the show. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I hope to see you in the next video.